I'm Old Head Ed.
And I'm Mr. Beleaf. And we like to welcome y'all to Barcodes. Barcodes is a podcast where we delve into the lyrics of your favorite MCs, verse by verse.
Each episode, we invite an artist onto the show,
break down their own bars, and give the listeners a deeper understanding of the meaning and inspiration behind their music.
From underground up-and-comers to established industry veterans.
We cover it all. So join us as we explore the art of MCing and the stories behind the bars on Barcodes.
It was Barcodes.
Barcodes back in the building.
The podcast.
You already know.
Welcome to the YouTube channel. I am Old Head Ed.
It's the Beleaf in the building.
On the other end of the table. And we've got another esteemed guest, esteemed MC. I learned about this brother through Beleaf. So I think it's only right if I give Beleaf the opportunity to introduce y'all to him.
It's one of the best songwriters that I know. And that's not even, that's I can't even express that anymore. And today we got STIGE in the building, y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you for coming through and taking the time, man. This is going to be a dope experience. I'm looking forward to getting into these verses. I got a little sneak peek into them and kind of went through the lines. So this is going to be, I'm excited. I'm excited for sure.
Yo, man, Beleaf, appreciate you, bro. Seriously,
no problem.
Super honored to be here, and you know what
I mean? I appreciate that you coming all the way out here because I know this is a drive. A lot of people out here, that, they always say like, damn, man, this is a drive. I'm like, yo, we appreciate you making the trip, man, like honestly.
And Kendall is forever, so like.
Yeah, there you go. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Also, he's part of Kendall, you know what I'm saying, the Kendall bloodlines.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? You already know that's greatness. Not being biased at all, by the way.
No, not at all. I couldn't tell.
Shout out to Hialeah.
Oh, snap, yo.
But I guess what song did you bring for us today that you were gonna unpack?
So I'm gonna do this song called "Weekend in Brooklyn." Recently went to New York, probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and when I got back, just decided to do this verse over a beat. One of my boys, Chantwell, he's like one of the craziest producers, bro. Like when it comes to like producing, and he sent this through, and I just literally like rocked out over it, and I really want to break this one down.
I bet.
I know. I mean, you kind of answered the initial question of the podcast is when Beleaf usually asks, "Do you remember where you were, the frame of mind you were in when you wrote this?"
And obviously it was the inspiration. Brooklyn was the inspiration.
It was, yeah.
Was that the first time you've been out there, or you've been there multiple times before?
People gonna hate me for this, but like I
it's a safe space.
Is it okay?
The comments ain't that crazy.
Yeah.
You notice. I think the comments are very welcoming to what we say. So
yeah, I have been in New York. Like my sister lives up there, so I've been there a few times, but I honestly had never had a good experience in New York. And obviously your experiences create your perception. So I was like, I don't really know if I rock with New York like that. And this was the first time going out there this last time that I was like, wow, like I love this city. Like I love what it represents. I love the people, and
a lot of energy out there.
Oh man, so much energy, so much great energy and good people. And so when I came back, I had this, like I saw it through a different lens, and it ended up being one of the first raps I wrote since I came back. Because as far as like headspace and stuff like that, when I write raps, it's usually like therapeutic. Because most of the time I'm writing hooks or writing stuff for other people. So when I actually write, it's literally I'm going through something, I'm thinking about something, and I need to just release it. In this case, I was I always write it like at the crib, like right in front of the microphone, because the way I record is I have to like have the beat there. Like as I'm writing, because if not, then I'm gonna lose it. My memory's terrible.
Just a little bit of olive oil in the morning, man. You're good. I'm telling you, I got them old wives' tales, bro.
Beleaf found a way.
I found a way to incorporate it.
The olive oil. He's been on a mission.
Yeah, man. That shit works.
Is this real?
Yo, serious. That shit works wonders, yo. Like about 2 tablespoons in the morning. But it has to be like authentic shit. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to the Barcodes Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Homeopathic medicine only.
That's amazing.
And CMOS. All right.
Yeah. Oh man. So you're in front of the mic. You got the beat playing, and what we're about to get into is what came to mind once you got into that zone of recording.
Yeah, and honestly, it was the motivation was scrolling Instagram and saw something that was going on as far as like some things that were coming up for some people, and it kind of put me in that mode, and I just wanted to express it. If you can't be honest with the music, then to me that's like the place to be the most honest. You just leave it there,
Word.
Somebody gonna resonate with it. You know what I'm saying? Especially like we've talked about this in the podcast before, where when you write music and it's a therapeutic kind of release or whatnot, it's gonna resonate with somebody. Because you're not the only person that's going through whatever the hell you're going through. You know what I'm saying? So like, no matter how dark or whatever it is, release it, because somebody's out there that's going to be like, okay, yo, you're going to touch somebody with it. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's how I feel about it, though.
True. Yeah, man. So Weekend in Brooklyn. Let's get into it.
All right. First 4 bars.
All right. Look at you all grown, like who put you all on. He guided me, I'm strong. Without him, I'd be torn. Pieces of a man, Gil Scott Heron. Gotta take care before the love is gone.
All right.
Word. Okay, so like I could tell, like you said, you inspired by what you were seeing through Instagram. So that first line actually indicates that you came across something, and was it someone you hadn't seen in a while, or
is that a reflection?
Or is that
a reflecting kind of verse where like you're looking at yourself in the mirror? I look at you, you're all grown.
It was stream of conscience, because like I had seen something like in this industry, like the role I've kind of taken on is being a connector, like connecting dots, and thank God's blessed me with that ability to kind of see, hey, this person should work with that person, and that person should work with that person. And then a lot of times it's like the selfish thing to think is like, well, hey, why aren't they saying thank you? It's like there's no pat on the back.
Hold on, man.
But realistically, like that doesn't matter. Like as long as things are moving and people are taking advantage of what it is, like that's the thanks in itself. But this was just me kind of resonating on that for a second when I saw something, and I'm like, oh. Wow.
Look at you! You're all grown now. Where's my fucking like, man?
That invite's coming any day now.
Oh man, that's
okay. So that's where those for, and then you go. He guided me, I'm strong. Without him, I'd be torn.
Now that has to be, you know what I'm saying, a shout out to, at least it looks like shout out to the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
definitely.
all right, definitely.
Yeah, Yahweh, the creator, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, and it's definitely connected to the first two, because it's like, if I wasn't in that mind state where like, God is affecting everything and making all these things happen, then I would probably fall into a depression or into a like, yo, why are people, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so exactly.
It would have a different effect on you.
Exactly.
The fact,
Yeah. Without him, I'd be torn. Like without him, I'd be, going back and forth. Like, wait, do people really, and actually, one of the things, one of my good friends, Will Wildfire, is a dope artist. Okay. And also, like, one of my Christian brothers, like, he says all the time, he's like, God is not the author of confusion. So, without him, I'd be torn. I'd be in different minds. But I know my purpose, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah. And the Pieces of a Man, Gil Scott Heron. Sorry, man. Got my throat thing. That is. So, are you a fan of Gil Scott Heron? I can never say his name.
Absolutely, yeah. He's like his words, his poetry, his music, his voice has been sampled so much by artists like Kanye, people like that. And like anytime I write, like the people that I listen to the most or that I've resonate with the most always tend to come up in it.
Gotcha.
So, and then it was a play on words a little bit because Drake and Rhianna's song "Take Care" actually sampled Gil Scott Heron. Like,
oh shit! Okay.
So like like it's literally his like his whole song like that they just re-sung in a way.
Yeah, I was not aware of that.
So gotta take care before the love. You know what I'm saying? Like like,
all right, you see, like the audience probably learned something because I know I definitely learned something there. I didn't realize that. But that's a dope like a little head nod to the track that was made. And putting awareness that, you know, they're probably stealing his shit. Nah, I'm just playing, man. Got love for y'all.
Nah, I'm sure the estate. I'm sure the estate was covered.
Nah, of course,
sure,
man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Gotta take care before the love is gone. Okay.
All right. So that the last line's kind of seems self-explanatory. So you got to take care before love is gone. Like basically, you got to just keep doing what you're doing before you know the passion for it dissipates.
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
All right. So let's roll into the next 4.
All right. My heart is fully formed. I'm opposite to the norm. She calling me. I respond. I'm present. That's what I'm on. His presence is in my calm. So please don't be alarmed if I rise before dawn.
Rise before dawn.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna let Ed start off on this one.
Well, no, I'm gonna let you start off on this one. I feel like I'm gonna let Steve get busy on this one because I feel like we've been kind of like, this is what I think. No,
yeah.
No, that's great. No, I love the just to hear like
I mean, as anybody who listens, who appreciates the art form of hip hop, of songwriting, you're always I'm always looking for, it's like, what does this mean? What does that mean? So I could get carried away where I'm like, oh yeah, I got this one. one. And then Steve would be like, no, that's not. No, but I got it. I know what it is. All right, so before the love, my heart is fully formed. I'm opposite to the norm, which is a thing that I think most of us people who are involved in the writing process and the creative process of hip hop, especially coming from the era we came from, where we all wanted to stand out. Everybody wants to stand out as an artist. So I could see where being opposite of the norm is a badge of honor. It's something that you could be proud of. That's where my mind takes me when I see that line. It's like, me as an artist, I want to have my own. I want to stand out.
Yeah, I'm opposite. I'm not part of the herd.
Which kind of takes me away from that. That's what I got.
And this next line goes, she's calling me. I respond. I'm present. That's what I'm on. Right. So like.
That one.
It just seems like female hitting you up, or
is it going that? I mean, that basic.
But I think this is definitely a metaphor. It has to be a metaphor for like music or hip hop itself, sure. Like that. And he's referencing her as a she, and she's calling me. I respond. I'm present. That's what I'm on. Like I'm there. I'm always doing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Are we correct, or are we just
100%?
Are we over here? We over here just saying this shit. We're saying all this stuff, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, no, I had nothing to do with that."
Nah, for sure, for sure, 100%. So the my heart is fully formed is like, also leading with love. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like when you're kind of leading the charge with love and like truth with kindness and all that, like, you know what I'm saying, like that is something that's also rare. So that's opposite to the norm. Like a lot of people nowadays, and not to be judgmental, because I don't judge anybody, but I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, I'm doing this for this reason, but in reality it's like, are you doing it because you want this girl to see you doing it, or you or you want to like brag on your friends, like, yo, you see me, you know what I'm saying,
you want to stunt,
exactly
flex,
exactly.
I mean, I just showed my age. I was like, you want to stunt? People be like, what? The younger viewers like, what is stunt? What does that mean?
And then the other part, you nailed it right on the head. Like,
going back to that I'm opposite of the norm, and you kind of unveiling it exactly how wrong I was about it. But no, it's amazing that it's like, it's what motivates you to put forth present this. And it's funny because it could be twofold. It could be a good thing or a bad thing, like most things in life, where it's a matter of how you utilize it. It could be good or bad, used for either or. The good would be this, and in my imagination, the good would be is that if someone actually pushes themselves enough to put themselves in a position where they can stunt, flex, insert adjective here, can you be really mad at it because they actually got something accomplished, or did they take the easy route? Like, is it somebody else's accomplishments that you're sitting on? Like,
there's always line of motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember being asked a question from one of my 9 to 5s a long time ago, where they're like, we had just got promoted or whatever, and they're like, okay, tell me what you're here for, this and that. And I was the only one that says money. And then they're like, looked at me like crazy, but truth is, if it wasn't for the money, I wouldn't have even bothered to get in that position. You know what I'm saying? So there's different lines of motivation, but it all depends on what you do when you get there, in my opinion.
Intentions, everything. Yeah. Like if that's what, like there's something very respectable, and like if you're like, I'm in it for the cars, clothes, and whatever, and you get the cars,
then you're not.
What then?
What happens then?
What then?
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
It wouldn't promote longevity.
It doesn't.
No, right when you get your goal, you're gonna have to go find another one because.
I mean, that's what greed is, though. Like, because if you think about it, like, and the American dream, not to get too deep, but like, it's all the pursuit of things. So like, how much is enough? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How much is enough? Like, okay, you wanted cars, and it's like, okay, you got the cars you wanted. Now you're gonna
get there. Now what's
like no, the newest model. I want the newer model. I want is this out yet? This the 2028? Let me get the 20. Like
you're talking to somebody that still has a button on his iPhone. You know what I'm saying? So I see what you're saying. I'll be telling people, I'm like, you don't need it, bro. Like, look, I still got my shit.
And then we go into present. That's what I'm on. His presence is in my calm, which I imagine you're going back to the Lord, and His effect on you.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So please don't be alarmed if I rise before dawn. Where does that line come from?
So it's almost like if I rise before the light, you know what I'm saying? Like
okay.
That type of thing. But honestly, I mean, that is purely for the rap because I be waking up late. I do.
Okay, gotcha.
So you should be alarmed if I wake up early. Yo, you good? Are you all right?
Yeah. It's like it sounded good, so I was like, "Yo, you know what? It's not necessarily true."
That's for the sake of the rhyme.
Don't be calling me at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yo, every rapper says something for the sake of the flow. You're like, "Yo, this really fits the flow." I'm just gonna.
Yeah. No, we've had a few. You know what I'm saying? We had a few like they break it down as that gets real deep, and then there'll be one line to be like, "Yeah, that was just."
It just sounded really good.
that. Don't worry, let's skip that line.
Who tell you not do it? Like, no, don't do it. Even though it sounds good, just get it.
We all do it, man. We all do it. It's
oh man.
Sometimes
I should have said that one's for the culture. You know what I mean?
Yes. Exactly. They would be like, all right. Like they would have backed off a little bit. Like, all right.
So the next ones are like, you
go from.
Oh no, you haven't even said that one. All right, so yeah, let's go into the next 4 then.
All right, so. Got a lot on my plate. I put a lot on my fate. Sometimes I pray and just wait instead of playing it safe. I be raising the stakes. I can't be playing it safe. If you put raisin in cakes, you see the face that I make.
Okay. Oh, yeah. We're going to get to that one. Okay.
All right. Got a lot on my plate. I put a lot on my faith. Sometimes I pray and just wait instead of playing it safe.
I'm gonna let Steve get busy with that one.
No, I'm deciphering.
I'm
trying. I'm like putting it. No, because you know what I'm saying. This is my lane right here. Okay. Put a lot on your faith. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out the instead of playing it safe portion where it's like I pray and I just wait instead of playing it safe. Now, that one you would have to unpack for me because I'm trying to understand like once you pray. You're waiting for the answer from God, but instead of playing it safe, which I feel like is kind of like a
contradiction
to that, or I mean, at least from my perception. So I was like trying to figure it out. So like, if you could unpack that for me.
For sure, yeah. So like and it's funny because it kind of ties into the line before. If I rise before dawn, usually you wake up early because you have a lot on your plate. You know what I'm saying? Like so, I got a lot on my plate. I put a lot on my fate. So. All the things I have on my plate, I give it to, I'm like, God, today I got all this to do. If you could get me through, so I put a lot on my fate. And it's like, sometimes I pray and just wait because a lot of times people pray and expect the answer, immediately. I pray to get 10 G's today and I didn't get 10 G's. Like, what's up, God? You know what I mean?
Like they just sort of got him with the secret and speak it into existence.
It still would have happened that same day, though. I have a feeling.
I'm just saying.
That same day, yeah.
But and then it's like, what did I say?
Instead of playing, okay, I see. Okay, I see where the not the confusion, but the the
That
connection.
kinda me, like
What threw you off was that instead of playing it safe, I'd be raising the stakes. So that's where those two go together.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I pray and just wait. So now when he's instead of playing it safe, I'd be raising the stakes.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. 'Cause I was looking at it.
Correct. Yeah, I did the same thing.
The ending line, but it actually ties into the line after it.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because the reality of it is like if you believe, like then you'll accept the amount of work that you have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll accept that. Hey, look, I can't play it safe. Playing it safe would be like being like, yo, I don't need to do this. I'll do this like another time. I'll do this. Like keep putting things off. Whereas it's like sometimes I'm praying, just wait. Instead of playing it safe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I put it on God instead of like playing it safe, because if you put it on yourself, you'll never get through it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like you really
facts.
won't. You know what I mean? So, that's kind of where I was going, where my head was at with that.
All right.
And then after you realizing you're like, I gotta raise the stakes. Then it brings you back to I can't be playing it safe.
Yeah.
So that's what further confirmation that's just not the way to go.
Yeah, like repetition is just like reinforcing. Like, yo, I gotta go do this. I gotta get this done. I gotta, whatever it takes. You know what I mean? So yeah.
All right, so here we go. It's just one of the lines that gives me the incentive to do. There you go. So all right, so. Yeah. So if you put raisin in cakes, you'll see the face that I make. Yo, did someone in Brooklyn give you on that weekend? No. Or that's just across the board. Like
it's just across the board.
Okay,
I'm not a big fan of raisins, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, man, fucking raisins, bro.
Raisin and cakes. Yeah.
No, it's like, and I'm Jamaican and we have a lot of.
So I was gonna say that was okay, perfect. So my next question is like, yo, so bun and cheese. There's raisins in bun and cheese, right?
Some buns. There's some buns that come without the raisins.
Okay.
I definitely prefer those buns.
Okay. All right.
Oh man. But yeah, and I have a very honest like face. Like people always say like, even if I'm saying something that's like, yo, no, that's cool. Like
it gives
like,
you away.
Nah, you think
you don't have a poker face. You're like,
have a poker.
Like, yo, that was a good song. They be like, damn, man, Stige fucking doesn't like it, bro.
Bro, I'll be honest. So, just a little side note, like literally, people had to decipher the way I give feedback in a way, because like I'd be like, yeah, this is cool. And then, yeah, this is, da-da-da. But I try not to use negative words to describe people's art, because I know people are like, I'm saying, like, I'll give constructions like, hey, maybe you could do this different or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, people don't settle for, like, that. Like, my boy hit me. He's like, bro, you know how to use words. You're a writer. Yeah. Like, every time I post something on Instagram, you're like, this is dope. He's like, dope is not the only adjective. So he had to decipher, all right, it's either a fire emoji or dope. Which one means more? What's the value system?
And people start counting the fire emojis like, yo, why do you only put 3 instead of 4? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear you, man.
Then the detective work comes in and they're like, no, hold on a second. He put 6 on that last one. This one got half of that. And it's just a matter of like, yo, I really don't got a lot of time to spend. You're like, bing, bing, bing. Walk away.
For real, like I'm like, yo, like the amount of things I'm responding to.
So you're more of like giving feedback. When you give feedback in music, you're more try to uplift the person in some kind of way. I mean, there's some people that I know out there that are the complete opposite, but it actually works on both sides.
Because and you got it, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to name any names, but I know one particular person that you show him something and it'd be like you'd be super close to that person. You make music with that person when you show him something, and he's like, "Man, that's just fucking trash, yo. Yeah, that's just fucking trash." But the thing is, it actually gives you sometimes the motivation to be like, "Oh yeah, for real. Oh, that's just," and then you start trying to see what they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? But
I think that's why a coach's job is so difficult, especially if they're good at it. Like you have to know which of your players are susceptible to you speaking to them in this way or in that way. There's some people that are just they're not gonna respond well to that. Yo, that shit is trash.
Yeah.
And then they'll shut down, and you won't get nothing out of them.
Yeah.
So you gotta learn that. I imagine that's what goes into being a good coach. Is like you gotta know that this be like just it's managing. You're managing personalities. You're managing, and that goes deeper. It's like their way of being. It's like, all right, this person, I can't talk to him like that because he's gonna shut down. This person accepts, he steps up to the challenge when I talk to him like that, so I can give him, that type of criticism.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
But but I can see that, and it goes into the next line. It's like your face is not allowing you to be fake about shit because it's outing you every time.
It's outing me. So people like if they get the text, they'll be like, all right, let me decipher it. Like my boy, like a few of my boys are like, all right, when he says it's cool, he doesn't like it. Like not even doesn't, but it's like it's more like mid or whatever. And I get it. Like even having somebody like that is great too because. Some of my best friends that I send music to, like they'll literally straight up be like, nah,
that's not it. That's
and
not
so
it.
when they say like they really, really like resonate with that.
Yeah.
Whereas I could see how my metric system might mess with some people.
So it's like when eventually you start knowing people's personalities and exactly what their responses really mean, right? I have an artist friend that if you show him something that he doesn't like, he's never going to tell you that he doesn't like it. He's just going to say it's interesting.
Yeah, yes, yeah. That goes back to what Steve just saying about that coded language.
It's interesting.
It's like a coded language, and you get to know that. You get to learn it as you like go along. You're like, okay, when he says this, when he says that, it's not. And the fact that someone can tell you, yo, it's trash. The moment they tell you, yo, this is really dope, now you say, okay, well, he or she honestly means this because they don't have an issue with telling me when it's whack.
Yeah. And there are artists in the industry that have a singular person who does that. Like literally, like they have somebody who they'll send it to 1 million people. Yeah. And the one person that says, nah. Like they'll keep that person around because it keeps them like
leveled.
Leveled and set,
It doesn't necessarily mean that they're right either. You know what I'm saying? Because I have that one person that says, oh, whatever. One of the joints that was on my album, I sent it to him, and he's like, yo, this shit's fucking trash. I was like, oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to release it anyway and see what's up because other people liked it. And then that was one of the standouts. Like, people really liked it. You know what I'm saying? So it works either way. You just got to...
It's batting average,
yeah,
bro.
You got to
batting average. Sometimes you're going to hit. Sometimes you're going to walk away.
And realistically, like the amount of times, just from the creative perspective, like we love a song like as an artist or as a writer, as whatever. And then there's a song you're like, I wrote that in 2 minutes. I don't really care about that song.
And that's the one.
That's the one. Like it happens over and over again. So it's like, everything's subjective, man. Like but I try to kind of deliver truth with kindness and be like, you know what I mean? Like as opposed to being like, yo, you garbage. Like, oh man.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's see. Let's bring it home.
That's it.
All right, so the last part. So don't act brand new on this new edition. They asked me, can you stand the rain? I say that's why I'm sitting. That's why I'm fly fishing. I got this ambition. Now I ain't burying my talent. Now I ain't quitting.
A weekend in Brooklyn. Yes. Not a lot of fly fishing in Brooklyn, but there's a meaning behind that. So let's get back to the top of it. When you say so, don't act brand new on this new edition. Is that a way of you saying like you've been around for a minute?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like
so don't perceive this as me being so like coming out of nowhere. Like I've been doing this for a while. Is that?
Yeah, and it even ties up to the top where it's like look at you all grown, like speaking to the person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
All right, so this is a tie back.
Yes.
Yeah. Like it's like so don't act brand new on this new edition and. Little play on like the group new edition. Like, you know what I mean?
You ain't Bobby Brown in it or anything. All right, so, but yeah, like you ain't doing the Bobby Brown. I seen a video just recently with him, like an old thing that he was on Arsenio dancing, and his fucking cocaine fell on stage, and then he just.
Every little step I take
that shit over. Yo, look it up. It's mad funny, yo.
He's talented.
Is that where the term stepped on comes from? I don't know.
That's a bar right there. Bobby Brown stepped down.
No man, shouts to Bobby Brown. Come on the show, break down something. And you tie it in lovely with the next line. They asked me, "Can you stand the rain?" New edition song. Most are familiar with that. And then you go into say that's why I'm sitting.
Yeah, like it's like in that perspective, it's kind of like the different from the norm thing as well.
Got
it's
you.
like, okay, you stand the rain. Like, no, I'm not standing the rain. I'm sitting and I'm fly fishing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting something out of it. You know what I mean?
Got
like,
you.
You're not complaining in the rain. You're there making the most out of it.
Exactly. You know, and then I got this ambition. Now I ain't burying my talent. Now I ain't quitting. That now I ain't burying my talent is like a verse in about Matthew 25 where this master, and I may butcher this a little bit, but this master like gave
Talents
3 of his servants talents.
Servants, yeah.
Yeah, and like he gave one 5, he gave another one 2, and he gave another one 1.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you know, he didn't give him any instruction, but like the one that got 5 went out and got 5 more. Like he like did what he needed to do to get 5 more. The one that had 2 went out and got 1 more or 2 more. And the one that had 1, he buried it and was like, I know how hard you work. I don't want to lose this talent.
He was scared to lose it.
You know, and then when he came back, he was like, basically was like, oh man, the dude that did 5, thank you so much for, doing what you were supposed to do with your talents and like making more of it. And then 2, he did the same thing and he looked at the person that won and he like admonished him, like, what is wrong with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to like, like not bet, you're supposed to go out and reap more and, and make more with it. So like, whether you look at talent in that perspective is like silver or gold or whatever it was, like, or you look at it as actual talent. Like if God gives you a talent and you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna hold on to this one talent.
It's something of value, period. You know what I'm saying? But what's great about it is that it is even referred to as talent. You know what I'm saying? It's referred as a talent. So it's like it speaks volumes on that story where it's like you have that one servant that buried it under the ground because he was scared to lose it. And at the end was like scolded to be like, yo, I gave you this talent. What are you doing burying it? You know what I'm saying? How do you expect to actually get more talents if you're never going to embrace your talent that I gave you?
Got you.
Shout out to the Bible. They got the best. It got the best bars out there. You know what I'm saying?
Best bars. Nah, but that's real. That it's funny because even like not to be meta or anything, but you're a rapper. Yeah. You're also doing the podcast. You're also like, you know what I'm saying? Like you took your talent and you're making more from it as opposed to like, you know what I mean? That's like,
I can see that.
You could have been like, no, I just want to do this really well and keep this because you're scared of what, like a lot of times people don't do more because they're like, oh, I'm afraid to fail or I'm afraid of like, how people are going to see me or perceive me.
Yeah.
Or they'll just accept it as their identity already. Like whatever they were before, they just accept that as their identity. It's like, no, this is just me right here. When you could broaden your talents.
Amazing. Yep.
Let everybody and let all the audience know where they could find you and what you got cooking up and let everybody know where.
For sure, man. At Call Me STIGE on Instagram and across all platforms, Twitter, stuff like that as well. On Spotify, it's STIGE. I'm mostly working on other people's stuff, but at the moment we do have a record coming out with Chantwell. This record's actually going to be released pretty soon with him. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. It's one that I really really like, and you'll probably hear it at the end of the episode. I'm pretty sure.
Definitely. They'll hear it right now. All right?
Yeah.
Barcodes. Make sure to come back and tune in and subscribe and all that.
Comment,
kind of
rate,
good
share,
shit.
like.
Remember, God is good and Kendall is forever. Remember.
Look at you all grown, like who put you all on? He guided me, I'm strong, with how to my feet torn. Pieces of a man, Gil Scott Heron. Gotta take care before the love is gone. My heart is fully formed, I'm opposite to the norm. She calling me, I respond. I'm present, that's what I'm on. His presence is in my calm, so please don't be alarmed. If I rise before dawn, got a lot on my plate. I put a lot on my fate. Sometimes I pray and just wait. Instead of playing it safe, I be raising the stakes. I can't be playing it safe. If you put raisin in cakes, you see the face that I make. I can't be playing it fake, so don't act brand new on this new edition. They ask me, can you stand the rain? rain, I say that's why I'm sitting. That's why I'm fly fishing. I got this ambition.